So that's how my life ends. What a waste of time it was. These were the last thoughts of a young man shot by accident in a fight between local gangs. Little did he know that he would soon wake up in another world, a world of cultivation. This is the story of the whoreson of a wealthy family, of a transmigrator that had no purpose in his previous life, of a demon that will make power his reason to keep on living. Darkness. He suddenly woke up, and that was his first thought. Where am I? He tried to move his limbs only to realize that he couldn't properly feel things by touch. Wait, I can think. I clearly remember getting shot in the chest by those gangsters. Am I in a coma? He tried to move or open his eyes again, yet he couldn't do anything else than feeling helplessly cramped in a space where darkness was the only thing he could perceive. I guess I'm still alive. It seems that I can't even achieve a quick death in my life. Well, at least it's warm in here. The constant warmth in his body was making the environment quite cozy. Well, at least after I wake up, my parents will let me off the hook for a while. Maybe I should take this chance to get away from that house and go abroad. I reckon there must be something like a cleaning service to hire me at least. He thought of exploiting that near-death experience as a means to break free from the cage he called home. Dad won't care too much about all that, but Mum, she will surely go crazy. Nowadays, reading is the only thing I can do at home without starting a fight with them. Maybe I will lose that too. Since he can remember, he had always loved playing games, reading books, and getting drunk. He found everything else annoying, and that had severely affected his studies ever since high school. So the situation in his house grew more and more difficult for him to bear, as his parents would rather yell all the time than accept that the university wasn't fit for him. I guess a big part of that situation is my fault. After all, I've spent most of my life being drunk somewhere or isolated with some book in hand. Not a good job as a son, indeed. Regret emerged in him after he thought of that. If he had known better at that time, he would not have used booze as a means to vent, and maybe the situation in his family would be more peaceful. Well, I can't change what has already happened, and I didn't really have many options to keep my cool while pretending all the time. When he was 14, he figured out that something was not entirely right with him. He would see his friends going after girls or pretty clothes, emphasizing love and social status among their people. Yet he only felt curiosity toward sex without ever being able to really bond with someone. As for human society, he couldn't help but just see a bunch of man-made rules set to force people to live together. Aren't those rules created by men? As a man, I should have the right to ignore them and live the way I want to. Time kept on passing while he was thinking, without him noticing that his thinking speed was way lower than usual. In the end, it's a world ruled by money. If you have it, you can do whatever you want. If not, you can only end up chained in one of the many gears of society, gathering goods until you die. What a pitiable way of living, getting forced to follow those rules blindly and work and earn things whose virtual value is rightfully given by the same rules you're subject to. True freedom is only achievable by having enough money, titles, recognition, in other words, pieces of paper. Is there even value in living a life like this? His reasoning would stop from time to time as he would sleep or try to wake up his body.